Racism, bigotry, and football have long gone hand in hand, and this season was no different.
With all due respect, this is not a new problem. Everyone seems to be talking about it as if it's just arrived on the shelf at Tesco. Pioneering players, Laurie Cunningham, Garth Crooks, Brendan Batzel, Cyril Regis, the list goes on, were getting abused in the 60s and 70s. That tells you how long ago this has been a problem.
What was going on in football was a lot of what was going on in society as well at that time.
Back in the day, there was a lot of racism at football. There still is, but it used to be a lot worse. And there were some clubs that were literally like no-go areas for black people. You'd be called nigger, you'd be called a wog, there'd be people making monkey signs at you. It was almost like it was part of football.
This past season, a string of discriminatory incidents plagued European leagues. Teams and fans were punished, but critics say the leagues didn't go far enough.
When I hear it, it's not nothing new to me. It's like, I know I'm black and I'm happy with it, I'm proud.
So the Raheem Sterling scenario for me is a real seminal moment in terms of discrimination, sport, media. I read a headline the other day which said Raheem has gone from zero to hero. Who made him a zero apart from yourself? The same media outlets that are now lauding him were the ones that have helped create and fuel this problem in the first place. But he's fighting back. He has X amount of followers on social media, so he can put his point of view to his particular audience. And that's where things are changing.
There's been some moments in football which has meant that people have had to have a long look at themselves and start changing. Organisations like Kick It Out have really helped.
Kick It Out is football's equality and inclusion campaign. It was set up 25 years ago. We are funded by the football bodies, the Premier League, the English Football League, the PFA and the FA, which is English football's governing body. Most clubs now have embraced the idea of inclusion and diversity.
One of the good things about football in this country is that we do call it out. We can only talk, but somebody like FIFA or UEFA, they can turn around to these teams and say, yo, if you don't get your house in order, you are not in the European competitions, you are not in the Europa League, you're not in the Champions League. You start putting those sort of sanctions in place, people get their house in order.
A lot more needs to be done. What I would do is come together and come out with a manifesto or some guidelines or some rules and sing off the same hymn sheet. Sometimes football is a bit like Fantasy Island. It does its own thing when it wants to, and that's not acceptable anymore.